The Trump administration is reopening old immigration cases, even for people who've passed away.
That's right. Joining us now is immigration attorney Mariela Caravetta. Thank you so much for being with us this morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, this is so complicated. So the administration argues that the Biden administration was delaying cases to keep people in the U.S. illegally. Some lawyers are saying, though, that this is just a tactic to stop people from opposing deportation. I understand you've seen clients whose cases are being reopened. Tell us what you're seeing and what you make of all this.
Well, this goes back to prosecutorial discretion, which is a concept that always has been in the law. Is the way court judges, attorneys manage the overflow and decide what cases are of higher priority and what cases have lower priority. So I have cases that 15 years ago were determined to be low priority because the person didn't have any criminal record, didn't have serious immigration issues except maybe coming illegally or staying illegally, but it had a path for legalization, either because they were victims of crime or victims of traffic or because they had an immediate relative that would petition them. So these are cases that were closed by all the judges, the attorneys, or everybody consent to be closed so they could secure a path for legalization. And immigration takes time, so many of these cases have been resolved. Others are still waiting for a decision, but they're being reopened without any negative factor. So these are not people that are committed crime. No, they've been working on the cases.
Mariela, we've heard immigration advocates talk about due process. First of all, can you explain to folks out there what are due process rights and how does it impact the due process rights for the person involved?
Yes, well, you want to have a person the right to have the day in court, right? And the day in court many times requires to have an attorney present because you have to understand that you're talking with citizens of other countries. They don't understand the legal system. Many of them, they don't speak the language. So they need to have an attorney. Now, if you keep a case sleeping for 10, 5, 7 years, and all of a sudden you bring up a motion to reopen the case, and you only by law is given 10 days to answer, that is too little. The person may have moved, or the attorney may have died or retired or changed firms. So you need to find an attorney, you need to find your client, you need to prepare a defense. Sometimes people have moved out of the state. So if you moving the cases like that, it means that the person doesn't have really the right to be prepared and to confront with the issue that he might be deported. And maybe they have something going on, like another right, like they have applied for waivers or pardons, and now that the cases have been reopened, every money that they invest is already wasted.
Wow. Okay, so I understand this has happened for about 30 of your clients?
Yes, already, yes.
So what are some of the examples? I've been reading about some of the cases that are being reopened. For example, someone who came to the U.S. illegally, then ended up marrying a legal U.S. citizen. I hear it's cases where people thought, I'm good, I don't have to worry about applying for citizenship anymore.
Yes. Well, for example, I have a client that he came illegally. He at first was requesting asylum, but in a criminal event, he lost a leg. So he became a victim of crime. And the process for the U visa takes years. So the case was closed so he can pursue the U visa. And he did pursue it, and actually it was granted. So now he's legal in the United States. But his case was brought up. The reason I was able to come back to the court and tell, no, this person is already legal in the United States is because I was the attorney that I was involved in the U visa, so I had everything with me and I was able to respond within 10 days.
You were already familiar with his case, you had worked on it. But you're saying in many cases they can't even find the original lawyer who worked on their case.
Exactly.
Okay, which is making things even more complicated for people who are trying to be here legally.
Yes, and there are statutes that says, you know, the attorneys should confer before bringing a motion to the court. So we have overwhelmed courts. They don't need those cases. They don't need the distraction of cases where many of them have a path for legalization. So had the government, the ICE or counsel contact me on any of these cases, I would have given an update. Oh, this case is waiting for the consular interview. This case has already a U visa in process, or whatever situation is to screen the cases. But this is how, I mean, most of these motions are done from an attorney in Texas, from an office in Texas, and they're bringing paperwork without any fact, without checking anything about that person. So the cases are coming to court without any need.
Right, all right. It is all very interesting. Mariela, thank you so much for being with us this morning to explain that.
It's a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you.